Sitting here at my mom's house in Illinois, and it's been 2 weeks since the Art of Assessment in Dallas, and just wanted to basically put together a little vlog, show what we did outside of the actual seminar. So I was joined on this beautiful trip to the raging, scorched earth, desert land of Dallas, Texas, by Alex Coleman, one of our docs at the farm, and Seth, one of our interns, or if you're not getting in trouble by your alma mater, our resident. Facing a bit of plain discrimination right now. I might have to got my feelings hurt.
That was planes matter too.
We're not taking off yet because it's raining, supposedly storming. I still haven't seen any lightning. I don't know about you guys.
Hey, it's pretty beautiful outside.
Heading to Dallas, teaching with these knuckleheads for art assessment. So get ready for whatever happens the rest of the weekend. See you Sunday. They joined me on this trip to Dallas, so we took off early, super early Friday morning, out of Birmingham, and we had a whole day to kill in Dallas, and we started off that trip when we got into Dallas by picking up a Tesla, and we didn't realize how much trouble that was going to be of trying to find charging stations and just not knowing our hand from our ass when it came to an electric vehicle. We had this whole day set up, so we actually went to Parker University, to Parker Fit, did a great workout, met up with some people that we'd see later that day and for the rest of the weekend, in particular Tristan, one of our favorite people. They're at Parker right now, and did our workout, and then we went to arguably maybe Seth Graham's favorite place on earth, Starwood Cafe, crushed some food, some pancakes, and then we geared up for a little basketball throwdown. And even though it was 108 degrees out, we hit the court at our Residence Inn in Dallas for a good 2 hours. So we hit the workout, hit that. Lo and behold, we had to go ahead and make Dr. Coleman a trophy to commemorate his victory in around the world, which he made sure that we knew, even though everybody technically won around. And then from there, we geared up for a podcast. And
doesn't that kind of make it not the secondary, but always the primary?
Yeah.
The neurodynamic, right? That's even Chapman would say that's symptom relievable. I think he would say sometimes you could leave it at that with certain people. I think that plays right in McKinsey though. It's like you get a derangement that we work on it, but
Well, also
I'm done. Like
that edition of the Week in Review, we had Cody DeMack, who's a professor at Parker University. We had Kyle Thompson, who is a doc there in Dallas itself. Tristan, back to one of our faves, Seth, Alex, and then myself. Great podcast. You can go check out the Week in Review on Apple, Spotify, as well as on YouTube. I'll put a little link in there. And then we went straight over to the social at Three Nations Brewing. Nobody's gonna be able to hear me. Three Nations Brewery. Seth had the water. I had a Dr. Pepper. Kyle, course coordinator, Project Rise. Yeah. Right? Yeah. We're hanging out. These are some of the people. Three Nations Brewing was awesome. Believe it or not, it was so hot they had misters that go off of the edge of these little rooftops and things like that. You could stand under the mister, and it was so hot that you wouldn't actually get wet. It was just evaporating in thin air. So that was the weekend in a nutshell from a weather standpoint. We were lucky to have our host Blake Wu and Kayla Keck with the Sports Pod in their newer location. They're about ready to transition into their permanent location there in Plano. But we knocked out the first day of seminar. It was amazing. The first day of any seminar, but in particular Art of Assessment, tends to be very dense, a lot of info to get through, even though we're breaking out different things. I try to get through the playbook, so then the whole second day is like putting that playbook into action. So by the end of that first day, everybody's pretty much cooked, and we hung out for a little bit after that first day, did some Q&A, and then myself, Blake, Kayla, one of the other docs from the Sports Pod, Alex, Seth, Kyle, and Brian Hamilton, who came in from Denver for the seminar, all went to a fantastic French restaurant that Kayla had set up and got this tower of seafood, as you can see here, with a giant sparkler out of the top. It's great. Had some great wine, great convo. Learned that I'm a giant photography nerd, if you don't know that. Learned that Blake actually had some David Yarrows in his clinic at one point, and heard the great story of that mistake that ended up being a funny story to tell at dinner that night. But I was extremely jealous, even though he had, you know, those Yarrows for a short period of time, that he was, you know, had them at all. So we had dinner that night, maybe a little too much to drink, which that's par for the course on these weekend seminar tours. And then we get back up and do it all over again. So show up Sunday, more course, a lot more of the 6 hats. So if you're not familiar with Edward de Bono's the 6 Thinking Hats book, that's a big portion or big pillar of this Art of Assessment seminar. We go through a lot of role playing, a lot of workshop with that ideology in play. And then we wrap that seminar up around 2. We head back to the airport, jump on the plane, and we're back, which for an early return home, I think I was back home by 7 p.m. We had a great weekend, great time with everybody. I can't thank everybody enough that, you know, helped us out, hosted us, you know, joined in the seminar. I think we had, I don't know, I think we had like 45, 46 people. We had some PT students. We had a lot more doctors than we usually see at some of these courses. I think we had like 13 doctors, something like that. And then obviously a huge crew from Parker. So thanks again to everybody. I'll be looking for some new locations, or 2024 locations, to host Art of Assessment. So if you're interested in hosting, or you know somebody is who, or just hit me up, and see y'all next time.